Thank you for joining us again. We have breaking news from the Department of Education. A riot apparently happened at Tiyan High School, and medics are transporting right now students and at least one school administrator to GRMC and to Guam Memorial Hospital for injuries. We don't know the extent of the injuries at this time. We don't know how many students are involved or how many administrators, if there are any teachers who were involved. We don't know whether the administrator is just accompanying one student or more than one student in an ambulance, or if the school administrator was hurt. All we know at this time is that a riot has taken place, but we are going to try to call Isa Baza, the public information officer for the Department of Education. Just give me a second to get her number out.
Sorry, you cannot leave a message. The user that you are calling has a full.
Let's try John Fernandez.
Schools on lockdown.
Is that confirmed?
Hannity Seuss in the comments said she just called her son.
You have reached a voicemail box. Start recording after that.
So Hannah De Jesus's son attends Tiyan High School, and she's confirming that the school is on lockdown now. Well, that does fall within the standard operating procedures of what would happen during a riot. That makes a lot of sense. Reports are coming in that this is alcohol related. Candid has learned that the JFK riot was also alcohol related. This is very disturbing. Let's try Isa Baza again.
Sorry, you cannot leave a message. The user that you are calling has a.
So just a brief recap of breaking news. A riot has happened at Tiyan High School. Reports are coming in that this was alcohol related. Several students are being transported to Guam Memorial Hospital and Guam Regional Medical Center for injuries. And at least one of the people being transported is a school administrator. Mark Mendiola.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Mendiola.
Yes?
This is Troy Torres with Candid.
Here's Troy. Half the day.
Hafaday, are you aware of the Tiyan riot, the Tiyan High School riot?
Yeah, we were notified that there was an incident at Tiyan High. My wife's a teacher there, so I actually got called from her letting me know that they were put on lockdown.
First, is your wife okay?
Yeah, she's okay. And then I also have my oldest son there, who is a special needs child, is also there too.
And is he okay?
So they're safe.
Okay.
They're safe.
Can you give us any details about what's happening? What we've learned so far is that students who were injured are being transported to both Guam Memorial Hospital and Guam Regional Medical Center, and that at least one school administrator was being transported. We don't know if that school administrator was injured or just accompanying one of the students, and also that this was alcohol related.
Yeah, you know what, Troy? I don't have any of those details. Just to know that the superintendent and the team is aware of it. I do know that there's a lot of support being channeled towards Tiyan to kind of stabilize and get the situation that's over there. And I'm pretty sure once that they get up there and everything, they'll get things sorted out and figure out what transpired. But at this point, I do know that there was an incident that was reported, and emergency personnel had to be called over to Tiyan for additional support. That's all the information I have. I don't have any of the details.
This is the second riot in as many weeks. Is the Board of Education concerned, and is there anything that will be taken up at the next board meeting?
Absolutely, and I believe tonight we have a board meeting this evening, so I'm pretty sure we're going to have a candid discussion about some of the issues and challenges that we're faced with right now. Of course, there's a lot of multiple moving targets when it comes to the Department of Education. And as a parent, I know that sometimes, a lot of these things, they start from outside the tent, and then it enters into the campus where there's, a lot of kids that attend our schools. And then these problems, turn into sometimes to violence. And so we need to send a strong message that we're not going to tolerate that, and we need to ensure that not only our students are safe, but also our employees and our staff. So there is a lot of concern. I know from my colleagues on the board, and we're going to work with the superintendent to figure out what possible, solutions we can kind of provide. I know that, there's a lot of call for additional adult support and things of that nature. And, you need to look at everything from a safety standpoint.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do. So this discussion is not going to, we have this pretty much every year. There's always an incident that calls us back to the drawing board to look at our safety protocols. So I think that's the key is how well our safety protocols are, and then, if we need to revisit our policy in terms of consequences for these types of behaviors in our school system.
What are you able to tell parents and also teachers and staff right now throughout all of your schools about whatever DOE is doing to prevent things like this from happening, or at least to address it so that violence does not escalate to this sort of level where students are going to the hospital?
Yeah. First off, I'm very confident in the leadership of the Department of Education, especially down at the school levels with the principals. Usually we have a school readiness work session where we ask the principals in terms of, getting the schools ready. That's where our attention was focused on, of course, our budget and all these other different things. But when it comes to safety, it's always been a priority for the department, at the board at least, ensuring that, we provide as much support as we possibly can. So I just want to reassure the community out there that, this is not just the Department of Education's, issue to deal with. This is a community issue. You mentioned earlier that the potential people coming in, or students coming into our campus is drunk, or coming in with, issues that, really fester themselves into the school system. So we're going to take a look at it tonight. There's going to be a discussion. We're going to ask the superintendent. At least I know I'm going to ask the superintendent, what levels of support you need, and if we're not able to provide it at the board level, then of course we'll go to our elected leaders and say, this is getting out of control. We need that support. The community has to come together and to really to work in solving this problem. If a 16 or 15-year-old or whatever, how old the child is coming to school with alcohol, obviously they're coming in with that. So I don't know if that's the situation in this case, but you mentioned that that may be potential. So of course these are the things that we have to definitely ensure that we have these discussions and put policies and procedures in place that give the administration the keys necessary to curb the types of behavior.
Have senators and the governor been invited to tonight's board meeting?
You know what? It's open to the public. Personally, I have not. I have not communicated that, and perhaps that's something that you may put out there and ask our leaders to come through.
Okay.
I do recall a couple months ago, actually a couple years ago, we had some incidences. We were actually called to the legislature for what was it called, safety roundtable.
Yeah.
And so we brought up the same issue that we're faced with right now. And frankly speaking, Troy, no matter how many adults we have in the room, or sometimes it's just, these things, children don't have problem solving or coping skills and end up getting violent. But of course, we always want to ensure that there's adult supervision to kind of break things and settle, make things come back to order. But this one, I don't know specifically what transpired. All I do know is that there are emergency personnel assessing the situation, and we'll probably get a report.
I'm just as we're talking, Mr. Mendiola, I'm getting information in. One from a viewer who says they jumped my nephew first in the restroom, and then another from another viewer who says that she's seen 3 ambulances pass her so far in the East Agania area, and the assumption is that's coming from Tiyan High School in transport to Guam Memorial Hospital.
Yeah, so I'm sure I appreciate that if you can share that with our folks, if that's probably going to be part of the investigation about the jumping in the restroom. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a thorough investigation into it. And then I do know that in terms of student discipline and all that stuff, that rests with the superintendent based on policy and law.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure we're going to have that conversation.
Okay. We will, Candidate will be there tonight, 6 p.m., right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, I believe so, yes, sir.
Where's the venue?
It's going to be over at the Tiyan headquarters.
Okay, got it.
The new facility. You're welcome to come to the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mendiola. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
We're going to call Lillian Posadas, the administrator at Guam Memorial Hospital now, to talk to us to see what we had heard earlier this morning, just on a totally separate thing, was that the hospital was full. So let's see if these kids are going to get the support that they need when they get to GMH. Hi, Lillian. This is Troy Torres.
Hi, Troy.
Hi, Lillian. We're getting news that students from Tiyan High School who were involved in a riot or who were injured at a riot are being transported to GMH. Is the emergency room able to accept them? I mean, are there beds for them? Or
Let me find out, and then what is your number? 456?
4237.
422. Okay.
No,
All right, let me
four,
go
4237.
4237.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me call you back. Let me go up to ER, and then I'll call you back. Okay?
Thank you so much, Lillian. Thank you
Thank you,
very
too.
much. Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Boy, I really hope these kids are okay. This is such a sad situation. If this is true that this is alcohol related, we got to echo what the board chairman said. That's absolutely unacceptable and cannot be tolerated in our schools. There's a comment by Vince Ginabamba who says they jumped my nephew first in the restroom. I want to know who is they and what is this about? But I guess the first thing is, are these kids okay? If they're being transported by ambulance, and we just got this news, which means this riot just happened, the ambulances are already rushing to the hospital, we can only hope that these kids are okay. Now we're just waiting for Lillian Posadas, the administrator of Guam Memorial Hospital, to let us know whether the ER is capable of accepting these kids. I mean, I guess they would have to. It's just if the beds are taken, then they would be waiting in the halls. Their beds would be in the hallways. My goodness, this week, and there's something going on. So let me go to your comments while we wait for Lillian's phone call back, because we really want to know the answer to that. I don't know the situation is the same at GRMC, but we had heard that that GMH was rather full this morning, but maybe that's changed. I apologize for what I'm wearing. I was supposed to have gone to the gym a while ago, but then we had all this news to break out. Your comments. Dominic Ongakta says, the comment left. My son attends Tiyan. Alicia Kanata says, parents, take control of your kids, damn it. Alicia's kids go to Tiyan High. Ramona Gochin says, again, wow, prayers to all involved. Dominic Ongakta says, do they have a list of students who are being transported? Dominic, you should call Tiyan High School directly to find out. Call Tiyan High School directly. Let me get the phone number. Tiyan High School phone number. The phone number to Tiyan High School is 300-5570. That's 300-5570 if you're a parent and you need to find out the status of your kid. Or, that find out that your kid is okay. Alicia says, these drunk tards start anything with my son. I swear he will be allowed to rip it on them. I don't give a fuck. Rosalind and Michael Cruz say, I'm here. Brad Hewitt says, GDOE is worthless. Dominic Ongakta says, when will they start calling parents of the children who are involved? As I understand it, this just happened over the last few minutes. So I would think the parents would need to be called right away as soon as dust settles, So this is breaking. According to medics, the medics are currently transporting a 17-year-old male from Tiyan High who has been drinking alcohol since last night and was involved in the riot. When police arrived at the high school, the student became combative and tried to fight the police. He even smashed his head several times into the window of the police car, causing even more injuries to himself. The student had to be shackled prior to being transported. He will be arriving soon at Guam Memorial Hospital. Jonathan Lamello says, Talu Riot. Angela Baza says, my kids are okay. Just spoke to them. There is no lockdown at this moment. Hannah De Jesus says, the parents should be held accountable as well. How can you not know that your child is heading to school drunk? How were they even able to obtain alcohol? That's a very good point. Ramona says, they need to hire more staff if needed to control and monitor students. Michael O'Brien, what's going on is breaking news regarding a riot at Tiyan High School and the transport of students to Guam Memorial Hospital and to GRMC. Jesse Mendiola says, we must all pray continuously for our youth. Doesn't matter the race, we must pray. Pray that they don't fall into the traps of addiction. Pray that they unite rather than be divided. Pray for guidance so that they may live a life better than what we have. We as adults, leaders, peers, and especially parents must make sure we equip them with a heart that beats compassion and a mind that strives for the best. After all, they are the tomorrow of our time. Well said. Kiolani Rangul says, did I say that right, Chellan? Rangul? Rangoon. I'm such a sorry excuse for plowing. Parents should be held accountable for their child's actions, and the school system on island needs more staff. Well, the story we're working on it's a DOE story, but it's regarding the whole dengue thing, but I think it applies here as well. Might be the Department of Education's exposure to liability under the Every Child is Entitled to an Adequate Education Act. This is something that, thankfully, the Board of Education is meeting tonight because they may have to consider their own personal liability or their own personal exposure to liability under that act, because the Every Child is Entitled to Adequate Education Act basically I mean, it holds board members and the superintendent personally accountable for things like this, especially if a reckless disregard for safety is demonstrated. Brad Hewitt replying to Jay says, indeed, it begins at home, but when students are at school, they are worthless. And this is referring to, shoot, I can't see it. Jackie Castro says, hope he's okay. Vince Bomba says, according to my son, they were Chukis. Ray Perez says, school officials can't smell the scent of alcohol. Vince and Gina Bomba say, thank you. He is okay, but they got my nephew good. Jonathan Lamello says, you think the staff is more vigilant and observant to notice when a person is drunk? Shaking my head. Jay Yeo says, right on, Uncle Mark Mendiola. It takes a community to raise a child. Any more information? At least 2 students are in custody and being transported to police headquarters in this riot. A post by Ronald Portugal Labrador says, huge riot in Teton High, student bleeding heavily on the floor. This looks real bad. I don't know if that's an eyewitness account or if that's secondhand information, but man, this is bad. Replying to Jonathan Lamello, Ray Harris says they are intoxicated as well. Replying to Vince and Gina, Roslyn and Michael Cruz say, hope your boy is okay. Brad Hewitt replying to Jay says, that's a cop-out which promotes continues laziness. Judy Shockley is very upset. Jay Ayo says, these were the same problems we had when I was in high school. The only difference is we never had camera and social media to broadcast it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness we didn't have Facebook in my 20s. Jonathan Lamello replies to Ray Perez. Jackie Castro says, praying for your nephew to Vince and Gina.
There's a shelter in place.
There's a shelter in place?
That was the last message on WhatsApp.
Oh, I'm not seeing that. I didn't see the shelter in place one.
She just said that to me.
Oh, okay.
I'll forward it to you.
Okay. Vince and Gina Bomba providing more information about what happened says, my son was just giving my nephew that got jumped his phone, and they jumped my son. GDOE school resource officers, or GDOE just announced that a shelter-in-place procedure was initiated at Teton High School at approximately 11:40 a.m. That was less than 40 minutes ago. The shelter-in-place procedure was initiated due to what GDOE stated as a potential riot at the Teton campus. The Department of Education defines rioting as occurring when 4 or more students participate in violent or disorderly conduct where injury or property damage may occur. According to GDOE, the Guam Police Department is already on site responding to this incident. GDOE school resource officers have also been dispatched to assist. Students at Teton High School will be released early today, beginning at 12:45 p.m. Parents of car riders are asked to begin picking up children at 12:45 p.m. Buses will also be picking up students at 12:45 p.m. This is breaking news. If you have a child who attends Teton High School, know that your child will be released early from school today at 12:45 p.m. This is as a result of the situation happening at Teton High School, or what happened as a result of the riot that occurred. A riot is defined as the violence between or among 4 or more students. There's a shelter in place that's been in effect since 11:40 a.m. Officers transporting at least one student who came to school drunk and started to injure himself by smashing his head several times into the window of the police car, causing even more injuries to himself. He had to be shackled. At least 2 students are in custody and being transported to police headquarters. This is a developing thing. We're waiting for Lillian Posadas, the administrator of the Guam Memorial Hospital, to tell us what the situation is in the emergency room and whether they're backed up or whether they're able to accommodate these students right away. Jennifer Santos again gives her prayers. Deb Dow says, part of growing up, boys will always be boys. It's life. Judy Shockley says they should drug test them. Sounds like more than alcohol involved. Ray Paris says, I don't think staffing is a problem. What is the difference with public and private school? Hannah De Jesus provides the phone number for Tiyan High School, 300-5701. Thank you, Hannah. Brad Hewitt, in reply to Judy, says, that would be great. Unfortunately, admin is worried about rights, which is nonsense. Those rights should end at the door when taxpayers are paying for their education or lack thereof. Ton Jolene Kitchitu says they need spanking. Pollyann Santiago says, I just got a message from my daughter. She is okay. That's good, good. Thank goodness. Francis Iwatsu says, craziness. Praying for them, though, so that peace can be found in them. Pollyann Santiago says, my daughter said they're being released early. Yes, they're being released at 12:45 p.m., parents. They'll be released for pickup and for the bus. Parents of car riders are asked to begin picking up children at 12:45 p.m. Buses will also be picking up students at 12:45 p.m. There is a third minor in police custody right now being transported to the Criminal Investigation Division at the Guam Police Department. Brad Hewitt, replying to Ray, says private schools have parents who are accountable because they are paying for education. Parents of heathens usually have other priorities than taking care of their kids. Jerome Kanata says shelter in place was initiated at 11:40 a.m. Yes. Fran Rivera says, according to the Post, students to be released at 12:45 p.m. According to us. Students, you heard it here first. Francis Iwatsu, and I'm going to try to say this in Chamorro. Phenomenomku aina fa maguun mampus di Michelle agugwat sigi magid by tilik how nisita mapanek LOL. Did I do that all right? Would I make your dad semi-proud?
Yes.
Ray Paris says, Brad Hewitt, shouldn't it apply to public school as well? Jesse Mendiola replying to Ray Paris, saying the student-to-teacher ratio is also less than public schools. Public schools' population are in the thousands as opposed to private schools, which is in the hundreds. It allows also for more focus on the children. Actually, when I went to Notre Dame High School and I transferred there from JFK, the student-to-teacher ratio was the same. It was about 21, 22 students per teacher. Kevin Kanata says, irresponsible consumption of alcohol by a minor. What a shame. Leandra and Josh Garrido say, watching from all the way in Oregon, prayers to all. Yeah, I hope that everyone is involved in this is okay. We are still waiting for Lillian Posadas to give us a call back about this situation. However, let me see. Another male minor is being taken into custody by detectives. This is at least the fourth that we are aware of being taken into custody. He's being taken to the juvenile investigation section. So I don't know if the one being taken to CID is an adult or considered an adult, and the juvenile one must be under the age of 16, right? 16 or under. Maybe 17 and under. I don't know how they classify things. You know how you're considered an adult sometimes, even though you're not 18. But I don't know how that works out. We'll try to ask the Guam Police Department later. Oh, excuse me. Oh, folks, we're just waiting for Lillian Posadas. But
Fifth male minor.
fifth? There's a fifth one?
Yep.
Where is that? I don't have it. I don't have that update. So there was, oh my gosh, this is moving so quickly. There was a riot at Tiyan High School at around 11:40 a.m. As a result of the riot, a shelter in place was issued by the school. When police arrived, they found a student who was already injured, came to school drunk because he was drinking from the night before. took him into custody. He was belligerent when they were taking him into custody. He hit his head several times against the police car, injuring himself even more. And when they tried to shackle him, he was injuring himself even more. So he's being transported to GMH. There are now 5 people being taken into police custody. One of them taken to Criminal Investigation Division. At least 2 others taken into the Juvenile Investigation Section. As for the first 2 that we reported on, for the 5 altogether, I'm not sure exactly where they're being taken. Maybe they are coming, or maybe they're being brought to the hospital first. Medics are now being asked to come to the main office and treat students in that location, though that must be for more minor injuries. Boy, oh boy. What a day. GDOE school resource officers have also been dispatched to assist. I thought each high school already had school resource officers, but maybe they're taking from the other schools and sending them over to Tiyan for the time being. Oh, and I'm sorry, as an immediate concern, Tiyan High School is being released early at 12:45 p.m. today. Parents can pick up their kids at 12:45 p.m. and also the buses will be there at 12:45 p.m. in case you're not able to pick them up. Just know that if they take the bus, they're going to be home earlier, or wherever it is that they would normally get dropped off. Roz Javen Meno says, really, administrators need to start calling parents and pick their children for any disruptions that is being done. Let their parents take care of that. Parents send their kids to school to get educated, not to be babysat.
Bring back corporal punishment.
Cello says, bring back corporal punishment.
Hey, it worked for me.
It worked for all of us. Fran Rivera says, so true, it worked for us. Pollyann Santiago says, but when students are on break or lunch, the ratio for students to school aides is like 1 to 500. That's a problem, absolutely. Jesse Mendiola replying to Ray Perez says, Brad Hewitt, you're right as well. Jonathan Lamello says, sometimes if a weapon is involved, they can be charged as an adult. Okay, thank you for the information. Edna Ray just says, good, these punks want to act like animals fighting when they should be learning. They should be taken into custody and shown the real world. Brad Hewitt says, illegal consumption, there is no such thing as a minor responsibly drinking. Fran Rivera says, LOL, Troy, my bad. We heard it first from you. You spoke way faster than I could type. Thank you. Millie Luhana Faison is angry. She says in all caps, expel him. Michael Vargas says, time for those parents to bust out those chanclas. What's that? That's a paddle? Oh, that's the Sister Concepta paddle. It's called a chunkless. Bamboo sticks and belts. Millie Lohana Faison says, hold parents accountable. Pollyann Santiago says, student to teacher ratio is 1 to 22. Brad Hewitt says, knock some damn sense into himself. Probably not. Oh, talking about the kid. There is a 6th male minor in custody with the police. My goodness. Brad Hewitt replies to Pollyann saying, what's wrong with that? Have Lou send in the Guam Army National Guard. Christina Oliver says, so sad. Yeah, this is a very sad story. You know what? I don't think Lillian's going to get back to us anytime soon, if she's even going to get back to us at all. Remember, there's still the administration's gag order on Candid News, so we probably just caught her off guard and she was being nice and said she'll get back to us, but I doubt she will. She still hasn't answered our questions from a few days ago. So this is all the news that we have at this time. If there is news where we need to break it by going live, we will. Otherwise, we'll find out more about this and report it to you in our newscast tonight. You'll want to check us out. Now we're going to be reporting on this riot and the JFK riot, what the Board of Education has to say about this. We're also going to bring you the latest and greatest on the Lou flu and how this government really screwed things up for the people of Guam by not doing its jobs. Rosalind and Michael Cruz say Sancletas. Use the Sancletas to whoop us into shape. Jesse Mendiola says, imagine fighting in skinny jeans. That gotta be tough. Oh my goodness. Christine Flores says, my mom used the Talon Quacka that made us not want to do anything bad. And our auntie from another auntie says, thanks, Troy. Thank you. Oh, wait. There might be more information coming in. Medics are still assisting students on campus. Now a student in the cafeteria is being treated. It appears to be a triage situation. This was a bad fight.
There's a new press release from East Baza.
A press release just came in.
And yeah.
Let me see.
26.
Is it at News at Candid?
This is.
Okay, we have a news release from Isabaza. The Guam Department of Education informs the island community that Tiyan High School students will be released earlier today. Okay, we already reported that. Yeah. Classes are scheduled to resume on Wednesday, September 18, and any future changes will be announced. Okay, so that's the new information that we have. Is that school is still scheduled to resume tomorrow.
But no reason, right? Just the fact that it's closing early today.
We have video of the police car. Where apparently we can't see the student's face, which is good because we're not allowed to do that. But thank you, Marvin. Thank you for sending that. Share. Can you capture my screen, Cello, as soon as I open this thing? Open. Go ahead and capture my screen. Can you capture my screen? Oh, shit, hold on. As soon as... Oh, hang on, I have this, Okay, we can go back to my screen. Oh my goodness. There's I'm gonna be, hold on, I need to send more. We have some images. Thank you, Marvin Matanani, for sending this to us. Okay. Open. Here, let me play it while I'm... Let me play that again while I'm downloading these other images. Wow, there's this. The back of the police car is at the what do you call it? The back windshield or whatever. It's broken. I'll show this to you in just a second, everyone. I'm just downloading the images. Thanks to Marvin Metzanani. Okay, go ahead and cast to my screen. You guys see that? And then you see the damage to the back of the police car. So is the glass coming outward, or where's the glass? I don't know. Oh, I see glass inside. Well, I don't know. There was a report that the person who answered this police car was bashing his head against the window. I'm going to assume that that's the window right there. And then we're only putting this up because you cannot make out the face of the person. If you could make out the face, we would not put it up. I'm not sure why they're wearing those masks. Do you know what the reason might be for that? Like those, don't get me sick masks?
Maybe to cover his face.
No, but the medic is wearing one too.
Oh, I don't know.
I wonder what that means. Well, okay. All right. Thank you all for joining us for this breaking news segment. We'll see you tonight.